Since MBC has been at your service, our clients have told us their businesses have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon? Since MBC has been at your service, our clients have told us their businesses have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.
Forget about Christian or Muslim. Nigeria is not a country that is totally Muslim or a Christian. All what we need is somebody that can lead the country to a promised land.
As a mother, these are too many things that loaded in you, so you have to understand that if God gave you all these realities, He's also giving you grace and capacity.
Thank you. Yes, I love what I do. Shegungele, this is what they call me, so this is Shegungele.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
Call Kayode Aljanaku, 9903 State Highway 6 South, Suite 600, Sugarland, Texas 77498. Telephone 713-776-5655. 3275.
Welcome to Wazobia Market.
Welcome to Trinity Africa Bar and Grill at Suite J, 5700 South Gessner, Houston, Texas 77036. Come dine in a contemporary setting and enjoy our specialties like Francophone coconut rice, grilled fish, plantain and African spice, jollof rice, pounded yam and ogbono soup, vegetable soup, and much more. Call in to order your takeout and outdoor catering and experience our second-to-none services at an affordable price. Take advantage of our $10 lunch special from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Trinity African Bar and Grill is located at Suite J, 5700 South Gessner, Houston, Texas 77036. A taste that commands order for more.
A very beautiful morning to you in the city of Houston. It's bright, it's sunny, and of course it's going to get hot as we go. You're welcome to Dawn on MBC. My name is Jumoke, and it's a great day. Like I said, well, about the weekend, I'll just hope you had a great one. For me, the week was pretty, tough, challenging, lots of things, stories, news, not so pleasant ones in between, some good ones in between, but then, hey, we're good, we're life. We shall give thanks. So, and this morning, we're changing it a little bit. He's not coming in just to say he's contributing and shedding light on it. He's going to be with me throughout the show this morning. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm pretty good.
Did you have a restful week?
Well, no. I mean, the school just started. I do a little bit of teaching and all that, so it's a new season. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay, it's a new. Yeah, that's true. It's a new season, right? The school just got back this Monday. So to all the children who resumed, the students who resumed on Monday, yay! How is it going? First week at school. We hope it's going really great, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the term. I've seen lots of rehearsals happening at different school pitches for sports.
I mean, sports. Sports takes the life of football. Takes the fall. So all the schools are really geared up into football right now.
Okay, I've been seeing all of them, the AISD and I know HISD. I've been seeing lots of things happening around. Exactly. All right, so let's take it as well. This morning we're starting from the trending stories from Africa, and then definitely we'll go into the crust of it, which will be the headlines review. We'll have this day in history. We'll also be talking about a few things that happened over the week. We'll just touch on them gradually and probably discuss a couple of them later on. So this morning we're going to start off by talking about this last week. Well, this week, because we're still part of the week, right? This week we had Nigeria's President Buhari appoint some key people, got some key appointments. Yeah. We have the Secretary to the Government of the Federation appointed. Well, we had the CG of Customs. His Chief of Staff, yes. We had the CG of Customs replaced, and we also had someone else appointed as the Head of Immigration. Controller General of Immigration. And these are, those are their pictures coming up. And these are people, this story, this event have actually stirred the water for lots of debates, especially when you look at the names of the appointees. Yeah. What do you think?
Look, what do I think is really irrelevant? The president has a right to appoint his own, those he wants to work with. Now, both sides really do have an argument, because you have those that really in support of Buhari saying no big deal. We just want the best qualified people to fill positions. Those that are not in support of him says it looks one-sided. But here's what I have to say. His own press advisor on media, Mr. Femi Adesina, actually was on a radio program yesterday in Abuja.
Which I was going to take you on that. And he went ahead to say, look, we're hoping that as we go, things will balance out.
Those were his words. Now, if he says that, I don't see why then we should really be on either side of the issue. Let's wait and see. What we know is that I have always said the ministerial appointments are by our constitution, have to come from every state.
Right.
So he doesn't really have a choice of, who he... No, he still has a choice of who he picks, but every state must be represented at the ministerial level. Now, on the other places like, other positions like chief of staff, those are really more his personal choice. I don't have a problem with what he has done, but let's wait and see. And again, I keep saying, once you elect a man, it's a 4-year term. If you don't like what he's done in 4 years, you kick him out.
You have the power to kick him
Yes.
out, which is one thing that Nigerians have realized now that there is power in your vote.
Yes, so there's nothing you can do now. You can whine all you want. He is going to be there for 4 years. So let's just wait and then make the assessment down the road. Making an assessment in 100 days is not really, like I said last week, I said we're in a holding pattern.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that, we're going to crash land or, but we're just in a holding pattern because, things look to be slow. I think, and I believe that's the honest truth. But so what? That's how he wants to
But he has
operate.
also acknowledged it, right?
Yeah.
Slow and steady.
That's how he wants to operate. He has 4 years. After 4 years, if you don't like it,
if things are not taking the shape or pattern you expect,
and you have credible opposition and all that, you go for it and kick him out. So that's it.
Okay, well, so that's your thought on that. Now, let's move to all the things that happened in Africa this week. This week, we'll have the South Sudan Peace Pact, which was signed, but already it's beginning to,
Look, they're always going to be in a fragile state in the Sudan, both South Sudan and real Sudan. And look, we have a conflict again. Religion has to.
That's a picture of the Kenyan president who's there, also with Museveni. Just trying to get. That was when South Sudan president was signing pact. Yeah.
Well, look, we hope that nothing grievous continues to happen because that's an area of the world that we've had wars
the United Nations is already warning against.
We've had war there for years. We just hope that nothing goes back to the state they were in and just so that they can develop. You see, you can't develop when you are in constantly fighting. You cannot develop.
True. So we're wishing people of South Sudan the best, and we're hoping that this peace pact will hold. Now let's go to Oscar Pistorius, this guy who made headlines about, it was a sad thing that, and then he was charged.
Yeah.
And finally, 1 year down the line, people were already considering him coming out parole.
Well, if their system allows for parole this early, who are we to challenge the system? He went through the system.
But the judge is actually against this, and that's why they have actually put together this parole review board to sit down and,
Well, so let's see what happens. Again, look, we're always too much in a haste. I use the word, we're always too emotional. Look, most of us wanted him...
Who are the us now?
I think Africans generally, most of us actually wanted him to go to jail. We almost all saw him as being guilty. But he went through a system, and I don't want to say he beat the system, but he got the lightest of sentences. Again, we have to honor the system they have. I don't think he duped the system. He had good lawyers. He pleaded his case, and the judge bought it. And what else can we do? Now he's asking to on parole, and the judge is against it. They have a review,
so they have to set.
Review it, and if they say he should be out and all that, look, his life is never going to be the same. That's one thing we'll have to agree.
That's just the truth. I think we need to begin to realize that when people go through a certain thing in their life, you may see them as beating the system, but looking at it from the other side, their life will never be the same.
I mean,
there is something wrong already.
O.J. Simpson is another very good example. His life, I mean, even George Zimmerman of
Yes, the life will never be the same.
No matter what, you know. But every country or every situation plays into a system. And the system worked. We might not like the outcome, but the system worked.
Okay, so now let's check out this. This next story is about, it's coming from the sport arena. And when I was putting this up, I had my Felicia Bayo ask me, are you a Balotelli fan? So I'm like, okay, so finally, Balotelli is considering to visit his country of origin, which is Ghana. And it's important to say in the past, he's been rumored to wanting to come to Ghana twice, which he didn't. But in this last couple of days, we've had his biological parents going around to say, oh, what do you think this may mean? You're also into sports. What do you think this may mean for Ghana?
Look, good for him. Look.
Good for him, good for Ghana.
I don't know whether it's really good. Look, Ghana would accept him, you know. So I don't know whether we want to say good for Ghana, but it's really good for him. Anytime you can acknowledge your ancestral home, that's fine. I don't have a problem, you know. Look, the first thing he needs to do is to get himself a club to play in. He's a football player. That's what he makes his living from. Right now, he's kind of wandering. Nobody knows where he is.
Where he is, exactly.
So that's I would rather settle that first and start thinking about, you know, what my home turf is or whatever. Get a job.
But in recent times, he's been tweeting about Ghanaian national team, supporting them and things like that. So let's hope he does.
He cannot play for the Ghanaian national team because he plays.
Well, exactly, for the Italian team, yes.
So he can't change that.
Okay, well, one very sad one. The death of the Nigerian ambassador to the United States and the person of Professor Adeboale Dapo Adefuye.
Shocking.
That was very shocking and sad news. It was on Thursday when the news filtered out. And we'll be talking more about that. Right, well, that was a picture I took with him last year when he took me on a personal tour of the Nigerian embassy in Washington. It was something people didn't expect him to do, but he took me from office to office telling me how things run. Yes. Okay, so we'll take a quick break now and we'll be right back on Dawn on MBC. I told you taking a different part in today. You're going to be seeing Prof's face throughout the show today, so he's not getting off anytime soon. So you're welcome if you've just tuned in. It's Dawn on MBC. Don't go anywhere. Okay, you're welcome back to Dawn. You know, when it's done, there is always something new. It's all about something breaking, brand new day. And this morning, I have the pleasure of introducing a wonderful woman. I call her a woman of strength, a woman of substance, in the person of Mrs. Oluneye Oluwole. She's an author, she's a communication and media consultant, and the CEO of My Heritage Books, former supervisory councillor, Ogun State, Nigeria, former board member, Ogun State Tourism Development Corporation. And she's got this book called To Serve with Heart and Might. You know, that just reminds me of the national anthem, the Nigerian national anthem. It's great to have you on the show this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
All right. I hope you're not jet lagged because I know you just came in.
I am jet lagged, but it's okay.
So it's great to have you. So let's talk about you. Who really is Mrs. Oluneye Oluwole? How would you describe yourself to me?
First and foremost, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
I would describe myself first as a geographer because I love geography. I love geography since I was in secondary school, when we could travel the whole world just being in the classroom. And I would also describe myself as a social scientist because you're taught to think out of the box and create your own environment, in social sciences. I would say I'm very open to many opportunities. I take the risks.
You're a risk taker.
I'm a risk taker.
That's great.
I like to pursue my dreams and do the can't do of, people say, oh, a woman can't do this. You're a woman, you can't do this. You're married, you can't do this. That kind of limits you to, what you can actually do as a human being. So I'm that kind of person. I'm kind of leftist,
Okay. So you have this book now,
Yes.
To Serve with Heart and Mind. What brought about this? Where did you get the inspiration about this from?
Serve with Heart and Mind is my political memoir. Way back in the 90s when I just started my travel shop because I went into tourism, and that took me to an expedition to write the history of my state, because then there was nothing, there was no data, there was nothing you could lay your hands to know about my state, which is Ogun State.
Ogun State.
So I was in the private sector, and my expedition took me to the length and breadth of Ogun State, and I saw what the government needed to do. So a couple of maybe months after, there was a summit where the Ogun State government wanted to engage the private sector, in this dialogue, 2-day summit, and I said, this is the time I'm going to give the government my peace of mind, because this So I was very feisty during the summit, and before I knew it, I was drafted into the tourism board, and then I told myself, hey, you've been sitting on the fence criticizing the government, saying they didn't do this and that, and now this is your opportunity.
Now you're on board.
Now you're on board. So, and I am very, very grateful that we were able to do some wonderful things during the 2004-2008, when we were, I was a board member of the Ogun State Tourism Board. So after that, I would say that was my entree into the Nigerian politics, because with that, it was a sitting government, and they had to do an election, which was in 2009, thereabout. Yes. I can't remember, 2007. No. Yes. So I was part of that, the campaign, the process. So, and then after that, I got reappointed, because I haven't done any elected office. I got appointed to be a supervisory councillor to my local government, which is Odogbolu local government. And everybody went ballistic and said, "What are you going to do in the local government? You're a woman, you're married, and all that." And I said, "This is my chance. I've been going to my town for forever, as long as I could remember, and these are things that I see every day. So if this opportunity is given to me, I need not shy away from it. I need to go and do my part." And usually, I love my country, Nigeria.
So I see that we're going to be having a very wonderful discussion this morning. Right now, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about some of those things you really put in place in Odobolu while you have the opportunity to hit that community. We'll be back. It's done on MBC.
Nigeria is not a country that is totally Muslim or a Christian. All what we need is somebody that can lead the country to a promised land.
As a mother, these are too many things that loaded in you, so you have to understand that if God gave you all these realities, He's also giving you grace and capacity to make it.
Thank you. Yes, I love what I do. Shegungele, this is what they call me, so this is Shegungele.
You're welcome back to Dawn on MBC. So now we still have with us Mrs. Oluneye Oluwole, and then Prof, you know, we were trying to ask a couple of questions.
Yeah, look, I like the title, even though I haven't read the book, Serve with Heart and Might. And I find the title almost very appropriate with what is going on in the country now. Our major concern in Nigeria is that we've always had people that haven't served us, not to even talk about with their heart or with might. You know, we're talking about they don't even serve at all. Those we put in positions of power actually want to be served by us, the followers. But here you have a title, Serve with Heart and Might. How do you see, or what do you see in the current dispensation that we, you know, the change that we have wanted? How does this come into play? What kind of leadership or what kind of people do you want to have in positions to serve the country with their heart and with a lot of might?
Yes, I would say the essence of leadership is to serve. You know, a leader serves and people follow you. When I was in service, I went with this mindset because the Nigerian anthem, I am so patriotic that it resonates with everything inside of me. Arise, O compatriots, Nigerians, you know, call to serve with heart and might. And with the current dispensation, I'm seeing a new breed of leadership emerging, something that has been missing in the years past. When I went in to serve my country. I went to serve my people. By people, the Ogun State people. I went to serve my local constituency, which was like a no-no for a city girl like me, or going back to the local government.
I need to cut you there. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Sheyi. I'm calling from Houston.
Okay, Sheyi, go ahead. You have a question for our guest?
Oh, okay. Yeah, first, I just want to say congratulations. I happen to know her. I've had the opportunity of looking at the book.
Okay.
Thank you, Sheyi.
Okay, so what do you want to say to her again, Sheyi?
Oh, well, you know, I'm just so excited about this book launch today, and I just want to put my own word in and say, you know, everyone that's available should just come around and, you know, come and look at this and see the account of our service. I've had the opportunity of looking at it. It's really impressive, and I'm looking forward to the launch later today.
All right. Thank you very much, Sheyi, for the words you put in there. So let's hope we'll see you there later today.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Let me just continue on the same line. When we talk about service by leadership, I don't normally go biblical, but you know, we know about service in the Lord washing the feet of
his servants.
Of his servants. Now, we have never really had that in Nigeria. We don't have leaders that, or so-called leaders that
Leader
come,
servants.
yeah, leader servants. That come that low. They drive us off the streets when they're passing through with their sirens and all that. Now, you were fortunate to have led, even we'll say, a very small part of Nigeria, Odogbolu.
Yes.
How impactful were you with your, showing your leadership skills? How were your followers, and how appreciative were they?
I think I would say I came first with the mindset of the private sector. The private sector, you have to initiate things. You have to jumpstart things. You are the one that looks for the business. So I came with that mindset, and also with the mindset of serving. Now, for the people, they needed, they have been used to people or previous, I would say, leaders who, in quote, used to having their way, them, the people serving the leaders. So it was a total, a new thing, seeing someone who was interested in their problems,
in their growth,
their growth. Because one, I handled the medical, the primary health care, department, because I'm a development practitioner, and in development communication, you do you call what you call bottom-top approach. That is, you go to the people, and then you have to understand their needs. So this was what I did. I went back to the trenches. I was physically there, and it was new to them, because one, they'd never seen a supervisory counselor that would come to the various wards to hold meetings, to hold training, to know what their problems were, and I stuck out like a sore thumb.
Okay, that's interesting. And that's the question I wanted to ask before we took the break. That what were those particular things you did, you put in place that would really put your name under, So let's go. You're here in Houston.
Yes.
The caller let the cat out of the bag. Yes. So you're here in Houston to talk about to serve with heart and mind.
Yes.
Then it's launching this evening. Tell me more about this, or tell us more.
Okay. First and foremost, when I started writing narratives and books, I had this idea that I would, do my book presentation at places where I have considerable number of friends, families, old associates, colleagues, and I started from Ogun State with my first set of books. That is my base. That's where I come from. So my next set of books, that marks Nigeria. Then the next one was in the UK. I had family, friends, and associates, their old schoolmates. So for this particular one, I said, okay, because I'm a geographer, I've done Africa, I've done Europe. Now it's North America. And out of North America, I had to look for the city that was more Nigerian in their
This is
content.
the city.
Yes, this is Houston. So I did a lot of asking around, okay, is it Dallas, is it this, or is it Atlanta, or this, but everything.
You're in the right place. It's Houston.
To Houston. So, and I'm so excited that it is coming to Houston, because, I have loads of family. Sheyi is one of them, loads of friends, old schoolmates that I'm really looking forward to present my works, because I need to engage people that know me with my works, and then from there it cascades, to other people.
So for those who are planning to attend this evening, what are those things they should look forward to?
Yes, they're going to look forward to, there's going to be spoken word, presentation. There's going to be book reading from excerpts from the book.
Right.
And of course, the keynote speaker who's going to give the keynote address is the Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, because it was part of the planning, looking for people with like minds. She's a woman that's vibrant. She has a passion for her people, for her constituency. I needed someone that resonates with the kind of person that I am. I'm very passionate about people. I'm very passionate about serving. I'm very passionate about where I come from. So and because I'm a woman, I needed to find someone who
you could connect with.
Yeah, who I could connect with, and who had years of more experience that I could, learn from, because she's in the international arena.
Yeah.
And then, so she's going to be the keynote speaker, and it's going to be a book reviewer, is a female. She's the first female engineer with mobile producing. That's Bolade Oni. She's the book reviewer. And we're going to look forward to my other books. They're going to be on display, so that people see that it's a progression from where I started from to this one.
This one, okay. And the time is 4 p.m. this
4
evening.
PM
Okay,
at
that's the
Holiday,
venue.
yeah, Holiday Inn, West Chase. That's 10609 West Park Drive.
So people want to know: is there a fee attached to this?
A fee? No, there's no
ticket?
fee.
It's free.
It's free. It's a free event.
That's a seller. It's
Yeah,
a free event.
It's a free event.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I know they want to know because I
Yes.
want to go, but the question I want to ask is, do I have to pay a gate fee or something? So it's all free, and once again, the venue is the Inn.
Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn.
Yes, West Chase.
West Chase,
yes.
Marriott. Okay.
Yes.
And the time is 4 p.m. So we're hoping to see you there, right?
Yes.
So if you're watching, you want to be there, just take a trip right there and come and be part of this memorable event.
Yes.
So at this point, I must say a very big thank you to
Thank you very
Mrs.
much.
Oluwole, for
Thank
being our
you.
guest this morning. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with someone who's worked closely with the deceased Nigerian ambassador in the person of Professor Adebowale Bidapo Adefuye, and I'm talking about engineer Ayobami, and he'll be joining us on the other side of the show. Don't go anywhere, it's done on MBC. You're welcome back to Dawn this morning. And before we went on the break, remember I told you that we will be joined, I mean myself and Professor, will be joined by engineer Tijani Ayobami, who happens to be an Houstonian, a Nigerian who's worked closely with the Nigerian embassy in Washington, D.C. The last time I saw him, we were both at D.C. That was during the town hall meeting. And I'm sure, I don't know if you've gone back there after then, but I'm sure that must have been the last time you also saw the deceased ambassador. First I must say, accept our condolence on this.
Thank you very much.
It's a sad thing. It hits the whole of Nigerians. And he's also the Secretary, Egwemo Yoruba, the Houston chapter. He's the former National Secretary, Egwemo Yoruba, the whole of North America. And I know you're also part of the Oyo State. Yes, exactly. So he wears many hats at the moment. Okay, and he's also the Vice President and CEO of FTAP Global and Foundation here in the city of Houston. Now, why this is important is I know that your organization, not once, not twice, you've worked closely with the embassy to bring them into Houston to do passports for Nigerians. That's right. So that's why when this happened, I just thought, oh, you'll be one of the best people to talk to about this. And how is the community reacting to this story?
Yeah, thank you very much. And the first thing is that it was a shocking information that we heard 2 days ago about the sudden death of Ambassador Ade Adefuye. Like you said, we were in Washington, D.C. during the time of President Buhari's visit and the town hall meeting. and we happened to meet the ambassador himself. Now, I've been knowing the ambassador for the past 5 or 6 years, and this is a wonderful man. He's a detribalized Nigerian. He's a non-partisan politician because he has worked both with the political parties in Nigeria. And he's a wonderful man, jovial man, that anytime you're around him, he's always making you laugh. And like they say, about 4 weeks ago when we met him, everything was like yesterday. But what happened is unfortunate, and the community is reacting to it one way or the other. And I just want to use this opportunity to condole the family, because most of the thing, as a serviceman who has served Nigeria very well, he was formerly the Deputy High Commissioner in England, the United Kingdom, before he was promoted and posted to the United States. He has worked hand in hand with us in a lot of things to solve some community issues. For example, the passport issue, when I met him in 2012, that was the first thing that brought us together. I was the National Secretary of Egbema Yoruba North America at that time, and we want them to come and help us over here. He quickly dispatched the staff to come and take care of the business. And since then, he has always been involved in any of the things that we do, like conventions, like meetings, like even talking to our community. So his death is a shocking death to the community, and we just hope that people will bear the solace in the embassy. I've been back after the last time we went there, but he was on his way to Nigeria, so he couldn't say anything, just told the secretary, Yetunde, answer, engineer, whatever you want, and that's all. So we thank God for the life that he spent, but he's a wonderful man, and I hope Nigeria will recognize everything and immortalize him. So that is what I want to tell you, and hopefully the President, Muhammadu Buhari, will be able to give us somebody that is a diplomat of his life, of his kind.
And you know, the words and the statements have trailed his death are very similar to what you've just said. Go ahead, Prof.
Yeah, look, I mean, because of his background, being a history professor, I mean, and I read history. He never taught me. I mean, we're not in the same university, but he's someone that I have looked at, how he's contributed. I have quite a few people that he actually taught, and who hold him in very high esteem as a good teacher, as a man. So a lot of what you're saying now about his the way he has worked with you and worked with the Nigerian community,
all the communities
in the United States, is nothing. It doesn't stray from what I have heard about him, especially those that were his students, and that who I know, because I've spoken to quite a number of people in the last couple of days and said, hey, he taught me, he was a great, great teacher. He had a great personality to influence how they turned out, just by taking one course or a couple of courses that he taught in his time. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that he had to go so suddenly. But again, we all know that is the one common denominator in our lives, and which is death.
Yes, it's a debt we all owe and we have to pay. And I heard from reliable sources that he was due for sent forth on the 2nd of September. But now this is not going to hold anymore as a sent forth for him come 2nd of September. Because I tried to reach out to the embassy, spoke with the Deputy High Commissioner and a couple of other officers there. And they all saw it as a shock because they were still with him earlier in the week, Tuesday, or, some Wednesday. And, hearing this story really got everyone on unawares. And now going back to, we know that prior to his death, most of the ambassadors had been recalled, and he was due to leave for Nigeria. So in your own, someone who has worked closely with the High Commission, the Nigerian Embassy, what's your thought? Who do you think should come in next? What kind of person are you looking forward to?
Thank you. Actually, he was supposed to be sent forth to the 2nd of September. We were working on attending that sent forth party. And when I spoke with the embassy officials a day ago, what they told me is that now they are trying to do a memorial. So we don't know how soon the memorial will be, or maybe it's going to be far. And we don't know when they're going to transport his body to Nigeria. But what we're expecting in Nigerian community, I want to say at large, is that we need the President, Muhammadu Buhari, to look into a profile of people of like character or better character than him. Because the United States of America is a strategic country that Nigeria have mutually worked with. And we need somebody of his kind who is a detribalized person. He doesn't look at you as a Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa man. He looks at you as a Nigerian. I remember there was an event that happened a year ago when one senator in the United States made a disparaging statement about Nigerians. He went to the Congress to defend that and said the senator need to withdraw that statement. And until when the senator make official apology, he won't back off. So we need something like that to keep Nigerian community together, to keep the image of Nigeria going forward. So we will appeal to the President, General Muhammadu Buhari, to please look at the diplomatic corps and find somebody who have a credible character, who have credentials like him or better than him, to come to the embassy in Washington and represent Nigeria, because he's like the president of Nigeria in America, because his position is more bigger than many presidents in Africa. So we will look forward to having somebody that we could work with like that, listening here, somebody who have the passion of Nigeria in his heart, not because of the ego of the position. Because as ambassador of the country to the United States, you rub shoulder with the president, the Congress, and the people of high timber and caliber in America, the economic community, the commerce community. So everybody that want to invest in Nigeria, they have to go through the embassy. And all these people that work with him in the embassy, they are fantastic people. Honorable Akim Tony Balogun, Mrs. Brahima, the like of them that I met, they are always ready to help, and I hope they will have somebody who is a boss like him or better than him.
Who has the charisma to carry everyone. You're going to chip in something.
Yes, there's no doubt. I mean, one of the things that I also followed him when he was fighting to get Nigeria off the list of a terrorist country. Or not necessarily, I can't remember how it is phrased, but he was trying to avoid that, because that is what has affected things like buying of arms and all those things, So he fought very hard for that, so that we never really were termed a terrorist nation. But so you're right. I mean, the president has to find us on, because this is, you use the right word, this is a strategic country for Nigeria, for our commercial values, for our economics, and for security too. So I mean, hopefully, that will be done quickly enough, So
and if I posted something on Facebook about him, and the comments have just been people have commented so much about it. I've had people talk about him and say he's just an ambassador extraordinaire. Someone who will, no matter who you were, you're a journalist, reporter, you were whatever position you held, it was someone who was willing to work with you and make things work out for you. I believe that he'll be sorely missed by the entire Nigerian community.
If I may chip something in, I know death is an inevitable thing, and what people do before they die matters. I always a champion of something about elating people even before they are dead. Because when people do something like this, and after that there's a communes, there is accolades and everything, I look at it, when they were alive, did you let them realize what they have? This is a man that I know 1 year in the embassy, he have to order all these comedian to come and loosen the grip of tension and just want people to laugh all night. And he said it is a laughter is a healing medicine for a lot of tension. So this is a man that is full of life, and I just wish I could see him before and talk to him like this. And
that's something we all are now very good at. When people pass away, then we come around with all the accolades. Well, because of time constraints, we'll have to go at this point. We have to draw the curtains on the show. We hope you've enjoyed every bit of it. And I must say a very big thank you to you, Engineer Yobami, for obliging us and coming on the show this morning. And also big thank you to Mrs. Olune Oluwole, who just left the studio right now. Don't forget, her book launch is this evening at 4 p.m. And it's all about serving. It comes back to what we just said, serving with your heart and your mind. In whatever position you see yourself as a Nigerian, as an African, whatever you do, put your heart into it. Be passionate about it. And that's just the last word I'm going to be leaving you with this morning.
I add something to it. Any Nigerian that want to send a condolence, we want them to email us at efatab@yahoo.com with their word of condolence that I will be taken to Washington so that we can be part of the.
And I think that's a great one. You know, I know people will be wondering how they could. Well, if you have something to write about the ambassador, you have something, you've met him, you've had an encounter with him, you can always send it to them at ftab@yahoo.com. ftab@yahoo.com. All right, people, we do hope you have a very fantastic weekend. This is what we have to draw the curtains, and we hope to see you again next week, Saturday. Until then, have a beautiful weekend.
Dawn, brought to you in association with Wazobia African Food Market, Trinity African Bar and Grill,
Since MBC has been at your service, our clients have told us their businesses have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.